It is Wednesday, May 15th, and the Dong Report is back in your life. I'm Matt Modai, and I have two Dong predictions for you guys to lock in for today's MLB betting slate. So I'm only going to have two today because I honestly didn't love the home run slate for today, so I didn't want to just force a third pick. I do really like the two picks that I have, so very confident in the double dongs that I have for you guys. Of course, before we can get into today's dongs, we got to do a recap from yesterday, which was unfortunately not one of our days. I did not get any of my home run predictions to cash yesterday. We did not get donged yesterday. I lost Marcell Ozuna, Kyle Tucker, and O'Neal Cruz. Now, of course, Marcell Ozuna hit two absolute rockets that probably would have been home runs last year, but they weren't home runs, so obviously that doesn't count for us. So 0-3, down 1.5 units yesterday, as I put a half unit on each of these bad boys on the entire season. That now brings our losses down to, we are down 13.5 units. Obviously, that number is very much not great at all, but there are signs that we are coming out of that slump. Now, if you look at the data specifically since April 21st, we're up about 4.5 units, and that includes the last 2 days in which we did not get any. So we're down 3 units the last 2 days alone, which means that things were going pretty well up until these last 2 days. So I'm pretty confident that we are going to be able to turn this around. By the end of May, we're going to be squarely in the green on these dongs, and we're going to be looking for a great summer. But hopefully that starts today. If you're new to my channel, would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. Also, while you're here, if you could like the video, comment, all that stuff, I do appreciate a ton. And then the last thing that I'll mention, I mention it at the end of every video, is that I do have a dub club where I send all of my plays out for $5 a month. Gets you everything that I send out. $5 a month on dub club gets sent directly to your phone via text, email, or Telegram. It gets you the same plays that you see me give out for free on YouTube and on Twitter. You just get them early. So as soon as I decide what a play is, the very first thing I do is post it to my dub club. So that way people are able to get plays in before the odds change. Unfortunately, by the time I record a video, edit it, and then post it, the odds are different than what I got them at. So my dub club was a way to combat that. $5 a month if you're interested. If not, if you'd rather get everything for free, totally cool with me. Just wanted to give people the option. But that's enough of that. Let's get into today's dongs. Let's hope that we can get donged today, starting in the Athletics versus Astros game. And I'm going with Kyle Tucker to hit a home run at plus 370 odds at Caesars. So we went with Kyle Tucker yesterday. He did not come through for us, but he's been on fire the past couple weeks. So I feel very comfortable going back to him in what should be a very, very juicy matchup against the Athletics pitcher, which we'll get into in a little bit. But just sticking with Tucker, 6 home runs in his last 14 days. That's the most in the MLB. No other player has more than 5. So him having 6, he's alone in that number, not even tied with anybody. So when you think about leading the MLB in home runs over the last 2 weeks, that makes sense when you look at his ISO rate, 48.8%. ISO rate stands for isolated power. Anything 25% and above is considered excellent. His ISO rate over the last 2 weeks is almost at 50%, which is crazy. Second best in the MLB over the last 2 weeks. He's also got a barrel rate of 16.7%. That's also in the excellent category. Barrel rate just measures contact, how often you hit the barrel of the bat when you make contact with the baseball. Anything 15% and above is considered excellent. So his barrel rate of 16.7%, that's 14th best in the MLB over the last 2 weeks. And that also means that both of his ISO rate and his barrel rate are in the excellent category, which is exactly what you're looking for. Further than that, there are other home run metrics that I look at. Fly ball ratio. How often when you make contact are you getting the ball in the air? His is at 70%. That is a crazy number. To put that in context for you, when I'm looking at fly ball rate, anything really that's 40% and above is acceptable. Anything 45% and above is great. And anything 50% and above is phenomenal. His is at 70%. That's the highest in the MLB over the last 2 weeks. Not even really close there. He's also got a pull rate of 40% as well. That's closer to fine than anything. Pull rate literally just measures how often you pull the ball. So for lefty, how often he hits it into right field. Generally, the best home run hitters have a high pull rate. That's not 100% the case. That's generally the case. So that's a bunch of numbers to tell you. Kyle Tucker has been awesome from a home run perspective. And despite the fact that we didn't get him yesterday, I'm hopeful that we get him today, especially going up against the Athletics pitcher Aaron Brooks. If you haven't heard of Aaron Brooks, I would not blame you for that. Aaron Brooks hasn't made an MLB start since 2019. He hasn't pitched in the major leagues since 2022. And he's pitched in AAA this year, And it's not as though he's been killing it in AAA either. He's in his mid 30s. He's got a 4.57 ERA in AAA. So I'm really not scared off of him at all. It's not like he came in and dominated AAA or anything like that. The last time we saw him in the MLB again, it was back in 2022, but he served up 3 home runs in 9 innings pitched. That's not very good. Kyle Tucker should be able to right the wrongs from yesterday, get one to go yard for us as our, as our first play. Next up, and also our last play of the evening, Cubs versus Braves. Cody Bellinger to hit a home run plus 550 odds at Caesars. So this is the first time that Cody Bellinger is making an appearance on the Dawn Report. Congratulations to him. We'll send his medal in the mail. So Bellinger he's been hurt recently, right? He just came back. He's played about 7 games since he's returned from injury. So we don't have a ton of large sample size specifically over the last 2 weeks. But in the sample size that we do have, his home run numbers look pretty good. Yeah, it's a small sample size, but still, it looks pretty good number, again, in terms of his home run numbers. Now, one thing I'll say right off the bat, his barrel rate is not quite where we want it. That is the one downside here. But everything else looks pretty good. ISO rate of 26.7%, that's in the excellent category. Fly ball rate of 58.3%. That's not quite Kyle Tucker numbers, but that's still an incredible number. 7th best in the MLB over the last 2 weeks. And he's also got a pretty good pull rate as well, 41.7% pull rate. And he's got an average launch angle of 22.8 degrees, which is pretty high. Now that makes sense when you consider the fact that he has a high fly ball rate. But the fact that he does have a high fly ball rate and the fact that he does have a high launch angle, that just means that he's trying to get the ball in the air when he makes contact. That's what you're looking for, obviously, for home runs. You got to get the ball in the air to hit a home run. In terms of the pitching matchup, he's going up against Charlie Morton of the Braves. Morton is a right-handed pitcher. Cody Bellinger is pretty decently better against right-handed pitching than he is against lefties. So Bellinger has only played 7 games, as I mentioned, since he returned from injury. In those 7 games, he's got 2 home runs, which is not bad, but both of those home runs came against right-handed pitching. If you isolate the last 2 weeks specifically against righties, he has an ISO rate of 41.2%. That's obviously very good, along with a fly ball rate of 69, that's very nice, 69.2% specifically against righties, and a pull rate of 53.8% against righties as well. He's also got an incredible hard hit rate against right-handed pitching specifically as well. So all those numbers look good in general, look even better when you consider the fact that he's going up against a right-handed pitcher. Now, Charlie Morton admittedly doesn't allow a ton of home runs, but he is generally worse in the home run department against lefties than he is against righties. He allows a higher hard hit rate against lefties, a higher pull rate against lefties, and overall a decently high barrel rate of 7.2%. That's not horrible, definitely not good either. It's closer to bad than it is good. So hopefully Bellinger can come through for us today with our second pick. 2 lefties that we need to hit home runs today. If we just get one of these to cash, we'll be in the green. If we get both of these to cash, we'll be very good in putting a nice solid dent into our losses on the year. But that's all I got. So I appreciate everybody for watching, and make sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Again, appreciate you for watching, and have a good one.